Good morning. It's Wednesday, the 8th of April. You may remember a little while ago I played you the song Wonderful Day from Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. I've had a request for another song from that movie, which I'm going to play today. Oh, there's Betty. Betty is meowing because she's in heat, which is not exactly irrelevant to the song. But before we get to that, I wanted to talk a little minute about the composer, Jean de Paul. We all know the lyricist Johnny Mercer, but Jean de Paul is a slightly more enigmatic figure. He first comes to attention getting an Oscar nomination at the age of 23 in 1942 for his song Pigfoot Pete. No, I don't know it either, though I dare say it's on YouTube. Then 10 years later, his song Teach Me Tonight is a big hit. And then in 54, we have Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. And 2 years later, the wonderful Broadway show, also with Johnny Mercer, Lil Abner, which is then made into a film. And then, despite living for another 30 years or so, we hear nothing more of Jean de Paul. So maybe he was living off his royalties. Maybe he was a nightmare and nobody wanted to work with him. I don't know. Slightly mysterious because he's such a beautiful tunesmith. You would think he might have done more, but there it is. Anyway, so today's song, as you may have gathered, is going to be Spring, Spring, Spring. Spring is in the air, Betty's in heat, and Johnny Mercer had a great time writing lyrics for this song. Though it only takes up barely 3 minutes on the screen, he wrote pages and pages and pages of additional lyrics. He had a fun time, rather like Cole Porter did with Let's Do It, Let's Fall in Love. And indeed, he got into a bit of trouble. It says here in the complete lyrics of Johnny Mercer, we have been advised by the censor's office that the lyrics of the above song seem acceptable under the requirements of the production code with the following exceptions. The lines, nonetheless in the cactus they indulge in the practice, are unacceptable for obvious reasons. The line, is making his wagon fly, seems extremely questionable and should be changed. The same applies to the line, cause Mrs. Katie did once did what her matey did. When you have alternate lines, I will gladly submit them. Subsequently, the censor's office decided to give their permission for all but the cactus couplet. Well, many of the lyrics he wrote didn't get anywhere near being filmed. Anyway, this is obviously the song Spring, Spring, Spring. I feel very nostalgic about it. It was a tune I first heard with my mum's dancing school. She used it for the primary dance, tap in tap, and I seem to remember it went toe heel, who heel toe, who heel toe, shuffle shuffle shuffle, clap shuffle 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 clap, and then I think there was spring toe, spring toe, spring toe or something, at the title. So that's all going on in my head, and. Mel Orris, it's your birthday today, so I know you like to have a little tap around the kitchen whilst I'm playing, so I hope this inspires you. Each amoeba softly croons ach du lieber, while the proud little termite feels as large as a worm might. Old Papa Dragonfly is making his wagon fly. Spring, 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 see the the gay little finches in connubial clinches, as each fleet little swallow finds a swallow to follow. Somehow the story old sounds best when aureoled. Spring, spring, spring. Even out in Australia the kangaroos lay off butterfat and all French fries. If their offspring are large it might be dangaroos. They've just gotta keep 'em pocket-sized. Even though to each rabbit spring is more like a habit, nonetheless in the cactus they indulge in the practice. Why each day is Mother's Day, the next day some other's day. Spring, spring, spring. Yes, sirree, spring discloses that it's all one supposes, wagging tails, rubbing noses, but it's no bed of roses. And if for the stork you pine, consider the porcupine who longs to cling. Keeping company is tricky, it can get pretty sticky in the spring, spring.